One thing Lahai Lawrence Lima points at now that during the tenure of the APC, being left the country into austerity.
Let me make a few corrections. The discussions for them be more informative. If women don't get member of parliament here, because now they play with the budget. I they talk with facts and figures. Always here they talk now within the inside the budget. And the way they talk, they quote the figures, they quote the year exactly. You understand? But I find it difficult with the minister because basically, go down privilege to some of the documents they play with in the parliament. Yeah.
Guys, this is what I want to do real quick. Again, this minister of the SLPP, misbehave, has no idea of what he's talking about. The only talk where he gets when I listen to a prudent financial and rationalization of the economy. Prudent, nonsense. But anyways, we see our Honorable Abdukabo school this bubble. It talk about austerity, and I just want to break this down. But in the talk for say, how APC left with austerity? You don't tell them fast in that word today. That's so then used for propaganda and tell lies. But the APC was not good enough to stand up and explain some of these things to people so people can understand what they mean when they say austerity. My salon people, austerity. Even in the United Kingdom, Cashbox can talk about all of this all the time. Then we get austerity for 12 years. You know what your austerity means? It means the government just look, you say, let's check we break. Let us recalibrate now. Let's recalculate. Let's look what's happening. Let's stop for spend. Now in austerity. Now us, like when the country it's right now, so we're SLPP so right now, that thing don't kanga for now. Today we need for cook 10 cup rest for the. But now when I don't see how things they go, you say, this 10 cup you do some more. Now we do 4 cup for the day. That is within austerity. So inside when I host themselves, austerity they apply. So I want to understand the word austerity. If anything, the SLPP for declare austerity right now at this particular point because the country bankrupt. Money not there. All the donor partners, then where they give them money, don't stop for fund them. IMF not the fund, European Union not the fund, now World Bank no more the fund, ADB not the fund. Matter of fact, all man don't come up behind them. Even the World Bank, now we could get for investigate World Bank to see what they're doing because with the you say there's a quid pro quo. They are playing games with us, the people. The World Bank, where they fund this SLPP. But if they do them, they mislead and they only do them because for pushing the burden power of the people. And because now they suffer right now, the strangeness, the hungry and everything. SLPP need for declare austerity because they need to stop the spending. Picture the public debts don't go to 30 trillion. Within 2 to 3 years, they increased the public debts by over 15 trillion leons, when are over, 1 point something billion dollars. $1.5 billion. Because the public debt as it is right now, we on Abdukabo don't tell me so now 30 trillion leons. So then take them from 17 trillion to 30 trillion in 2 years. So the need for declare austerity, I think that is what we should all ask for. Cashbox will talk more about this, but I think we need to declare and ask for austerity from the SLPP because, again, the government need for check them break and say, let us stop the excess spending, the excess thievery, let us recalibrate, let us watch, usai, we need for take some funding away from, put here with it. They need to declare austerity at this particular point in time. But until you hear austerity, just means that for manage, yeah? So people, that is all. But when I watch this, when I see United Kingdom, 12 years of austerity, then we say it's the best thing we can do because they're able to recalibrate. They
have to present a budget next week. And there are many people, not just in the Labour Party, who say you need to cut back on the austerity, so to speak, that the British program of cutting government spending has resulted in very weak economic growth. Do you think you need to and will you relax some of the spending cuts that you have put in place?
Well, normally budget's a secret, but it won't be any secret if I say to you, no, we're not going to do that. We are going to stick with the deficit reduction plan that I set out almost 2 years ago. Britain had an 11% budget deficit 2 years ago. The plan we've put in place is bringing that deficit down and borrowing is coming down. But even with that, we still have one of the highest budget deficits in the world, and we've got to keep up the pace in order to provide the stability that the British economy needs and the low interest rates the British economy needs to allow the recovery to take hold. So I think it would be a big mistake if Britain backed off the credibility it's earned in the international markets.
So guys, you just listen to that. It's telling us austerity is necessary for the government to stop spending. And that is what the SLPP should do right now, declare austerity for us to stop spending. Because who is benefiting from all this money? 60% of the GDP goes towards the wage bill. Who is in this government?
all of their brothers and sisters, tribalism, nepotism, right? The government gets the chunk of the GDP. It doesn't reflect on the people. So when we were talking about, like in Britain, you're talking about people where, they cut on the housing. So for example, some people, they might have to go, take care of themselves. So then cut housing, so might become homeless. As sad as it is. But who don't necessarily what the government to take care of? Government to take care of housing. Government to take care of all of these small expenses for our people. So who benefits is just the government officials there. So government needs to stop the spending. And that is why the SLPP should immediately, at this particular point, declare austerity in Sierra Leone, because that is what we need. And that was the wisest thing the APC government did at the time, because they were prudent in their financial decisions. They say, let we declare austerity, so we'll stop the spending and look at our deficit, look at our debt. 30 trillion leones, which is $3 billion. That is our debt. We need austerity in Sierra Leone right now. Thank you.
But let's take time, law go through the public debt, yeah? We basically now the manifesto, SLPP been toxic, public debt very much high, and then go ensure say they introduce a debt ceiling. In 2018, when SLPP came power, the public debt now been 17.83 trillion. 17.83 trillion. In 2020, because our 2020 budget now I use for analyze. In 2020, they raised them up to 30.71 trillion. 30.71 trillion. So meaning, in the 10 years of APC, because APC made public debt at 2.78 trillion, and they raised them up to 17.83 trillion. In the 10 years of APC, the public debt now been 15.04 trillion in the 10 years of APC. Just in these 3 years of SLPP, the public debt rise to 13 trillion in 2020. And even the project and say in 2021, it will go to 14.3 trillion. So just in the SLPP 3 years, public debt don't go to 14.3 trillion. Whilst in the 10 years of APC, public debt now been 15.04 trillion. Just a mere difference of less than 1 trillion. And quite apart from that, what I do, I take into consideration we last census, we say we get about 7 million people left, and I distribute this debt among the 7 million people that will get. Everybody, if everybody for contribute for law will pay the debt to Salon get, everybody forgive $425. So if you get a picking safe, now for tell and say this government don't lead me to a debt, we now $425 for each Sierra Leonean. Now we for pay.
Time at the camp.
Honorable,
at the camp.
Create budgets, but I just want to bring you to a concern where this new Ministry of Western area during the time when they discuss budgets, we are the permanent secretary in that particular ministry. They cry say even stapler they not get for that they're able for do their work.
Well, me not read that. Me not go respond to something we actually me not read.
One of the most important lessons in life that you should know is to remember to have an attitude of gratitude, of humility. Understand where the gift comes from. It's not mine. It's been given to me by the grace of God. Use what I have to help others. On your last day, you can't take it with you.
Yes, that is true.
But you can leave it here.